inspire, empower, grab your girls and soar a little higher. Unlock the fire in you, cause real women don't bitch, no. Real women don't, 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 real women don't bitch.
Hey, thank you for joining me on the Real Women Don't Bitch podcast. This is your proud host, August Crenshaw, aka Mrs. Raw, Real, and Relentless. I am the #1 advanced mental conditioning specialist for entrepreneurs because building mental muscle is necessary in order to implement successful business strategies. This show has been created for the woman who is not excuse-driven and needs help building a profitable business. I will be interviewing women from various fields who are willing to break the silence on struggles that specifically affect female entrepreneurs. Welcome to a show where I and guest speakers from time to time share our methods that help us beast our business no matter what is going on in our lives. Whether you are an online or brick and mortar business owner, this show is for you. We will hit every angle, personal, professional, and spiritual. Why? Because on any given day, you get hit with shit from a scenario involving one, more, or perhaps all of the above. It all impacts you and your mindset towards your business. I have made it my personal mission to provide a space where we dive deep into the BS we face on a day-to-day basis. Hey, ladies, guess what? We are going to talk about Facebook groups today. And I have heard so many people say so many things, and I get hit with individuals all the time in LinkedIn that are always trying to tell you what's the best way to, make the money the fastest. And a lot of people are trying to figure out, do I or don't I do a Facebook group? And are they played out? Is it too late to do them? Are they to your benefit? Are you working the wrong way? And I want to give you some advice from my coaching perspective about Facebook groups. Number one is, as a business owner, you've got to know the difference between when something's, some fad or trend, and if you're at the beginning or the end of it. But at the end of the day, you also need to know what is your zone of genius, where and how, what causes you to perform at high levels of energy. And so I'm going to be really honest with you. Depending on who I'm talking to, I am a firm believer that you should or you shouldn't, do Facebook groups, because they are a lot of work, and it all has to do with your personality and why you do what you do. So for instance, if a person comes to me and says, August, what I can do is I can, you hire my firm. I have a do it for you service. I am going to find, all of these people, and you're going to get leads. You talk to them, and if you're able to convert, then bam, you got clients. And just like that, you hit X amount of thousands of dollars for the month, and vada boom, vada bing, there you are. And while that is good, and it is nice to have, leads that turn over instantaneously from a really good, sales pitch, and I've experienced it from doing things on my own, my zone of genius and my power is in the amount of energy that I am able to create in a closed container. Anybody that's ever been in a Facebook group with me, wait a minute, let me just say this before I go too far. I've had one foul up with a Facebook group. I started one Facebook group and it literally was just dead. I was like, oh my God. And I hate to say it, not to be biased against my web designers, but I was offering this program called Package Price and Profit. And my husband and I were looking at some results that I had with web designers. I was like, that's who I'm going to target. And so we targeted web designers. Now, don't get me wrong. I still invited other business owners from different backgrounds to be in it. But the web designers, who were, doing websites for anywhere between like $200 to $1,000. I'm like, man, I know how much money they should be making. Not just that they could make, but they should make because of the amount of time and effort that it takes to create them. We started that group and it was so damn flat. I want to say that there might have been 6 people that regularly engaged, and 2 of those people were already in my clients. They were in the package price and profit program, and they just were like, we're going to follow you wherever you are. And then there were like maybe 4 other people. I was in there working my butt off, but it still wasn't a waste of time. The group got to like maybe 45 folks. I ended up shutting it down because there was such low engagement, but I did have one person who went into a lower ticket group program. I had another person. Yeah, let's see. 1, 2, shit. The second person went to one of the lower ticket options. One young lady went into the package price and profit program. And I'm trying to think if it was one more person that came from that group. But the point is, even though it wasn't open for very long and there wasn't any more than 45 people in the group, I can easily say that I made about $8,000 from the group. And it's something that I probably, put I won't even try to remember the time frame. So it wasn't a total waste of time. That's all I'm saying. And then the people, if I were to really look at the amount of money that I made, period, is greater than that, because then the people went from the group program to they up level to 1-to-1. And so it wasn't a waste of time. But I'm talking about just Facebook groups, period, and having a very robust place where you do generate leads, because Facebook groups are an excellent funnel, but they're not for everybody. And this is why, because they do take a lot of work. There was a time in a season where having a Facebook group, it was easy to get hundreds and thousands of people in them. And it doesn't really happen like that as much anymore, because every time you turn around, somebody's got a group. I mean, I don't even know how many they are. But if I go right now and just type in Trump, I'm going to find we hate Trump. We want to kill Trump. We love Trump. Make America great again. We hate Make America great again. You know what I'm saying? You're going to find like a plethora of groups just for that alone. And then if I type in marriage or womenpreneurs or boss babes and whatever, there's so much out there. And so it's a very cluttered space. And that means that in order to get people in there, that you're going to have to do some work. And then once you get the people in there, you've got to fight against all of the BS. When people come into Facebook groups, a lot of them are used to groups where, for instance, number one, the person that runs the group is not really active. The administrator usually has some type of software where they were using like Hootsuite, which I think that even in groups, I think you can only use those types of apps only on your business page. It is against the terms of service now with Facebook to do them on your personal page. And I think in groups too. But at the end of the day, people would just put these prompts up. Oh, it's Mindset Monday. It's Terrific Tuesday. It's Wealth Wednesday. And, make your comment or do your post. And people wanted these containers where they were self-motivated and they moved on their own. And maybe once a quarter, somebody might do a training. I got to the point where they really weren't doing any trainings for free. It was pretty much always pay. There was a lot of outreach for sales calls, outreach, but typically it ended up being sales calls. And so people were used to Facebook groups being a place where they are sold to, where there's minimal or no value given. And it's kind of like you're existing for no reason. People like me are used to doing live video. I really don't like to type out a lot of answers. I don't have the time to type out answers. I'm sticking and moving and doing 3 or 4 lives a day just because of my own audience. And then to sit down and have to type out something for your group, why can't I just hop on a live? I can say a whole lot in 4 to 10 minutes. Say, hey, some of you guys, these podcast episodes are barely 10 minutes, but they won't let you do that because they understand the power of live video, or they won't let you promote. They'll tell you that you could promote, but then you have to put it in a thread. You can't like do your own flyer, put your own copy in a separate post. So then you get lost in the comment feed. And so a lot of people are very, very frustrated with Facebook groups. And I know that for me, one of the reasons why people love my Facebook groups is because, number one, I show up. I show up and I'm engaged. A lot of people just want to have a group. You want to show up maybe once a week or something like that. Baby, I'm sorry. That's not going to cut it. I'm not saying that everybody has to be in there every day, but whatever you do, it needs to be so impacting that it can hold the energy and hold the space for a few days. And now you do have to work a little bit more and be in there more consistently. If relationships and communication and going back and forth light you up and set you on fire, inspire, then you do want to be inside the groups more. Me personally, if I do something in a group and somebody responds and that turns me on, and if somebody else responds, that turns me on, and I could have did a live and went in a group and I'll be like, I'm just going back in off of GP, because you know how it is. Have you ever sat down with your girlfriend and you were only going to meet for 30 minutes or an hour, but you didn't had a conversation 2 hours later and you're still talking? That's that kind of energy that, you have to create in the group, and you have to be vulnerable and give benefits. All of this is to open people up, because individuals are nervous. And so when I started the Business Mastery Group, I've, got my mind back, a right to say I can and I will do a Facebook group again. I'll do a whole nother podcast on the mindset shifts I had to get over in order to be able to do one. And to know that it's going to be a long-term, long-standing thing as long as it's available on Facebook. I think it was probably like the first 4 weeks was just me pushing. Hey, how you guys doing? This is August. I'm showing up live. Hey, I'm going to tag a couple people. What are you thinking? How are you doing? For maybe only a friend or two that's already in the group that knows me to show up and like or comment. My friend Pika would go in and maybe do a live and be like, I'm going to try to, amp people up with you. And it was like minimal to almost no response. And guess what? I was like, okay. Well, y'all ain't responded, so I'm going to turn up the heat some more. And I just kept on doing it. I kept on soliciting people, and I kept on having people in there. And when anybody showed some enthusiasm, I latched on to that person, because you've got to get the activity high in the group to stir up some stuff to get people to be nosy. And if they start being nosy and they see what's going on, then people start slithering out the woodworks. But that's because people have been done so wrong. And so if you're going to do a Facebook group, you're going to have to be engaged. Now, there's a whole bunch of other stuff around it. People look at me and they're like, oh my God, August, you like over deliver in your groups. But like I tell people all the time, I have to do things that are in line with my sole purpose. And so I am very much in the business of making money, but I love to inspire people to take action. And so there's a level of mindset work and motivation that I literally just give away for free, because I enjoy business coaching. And I know that at the end of the day, I could raise your confidence through the roof and get you excited. And if I can make you feel good, that's great. But if you're still struggling with the pricing of your products and the packaging of it, and you could feel good all day long, but still not know how to sell, you have a deficit somewhere, you're still going to need me as a coach. I understand how much I can give away, and there's still a need for someone to invest to work with me. And that's something else that you have to be hyper aware of. You need to know how much you can do without losing all of the clients that you could have. Because what happens with a lot of people, they go the other way. Instead of not serving enough, they serve too much, and then they can't profit off of a Facebook group. So yes, I am very much for Facebook groups, but if you're the kind of person who's just trying to create an automatic funnel for your business, you really, really don't have any business having a Facebook group. And so that's my opinion on that. That I'm living it. I love it. It is the easiest funnel to build know, like, and trust ever. And so that's my 2 cents on that. If you were wondering about it, that's all I got to say. And guess what? For those of you that are thinking about joining the Business Mastery Summit, but maybe have not, you can come into the Business Mastery Facebook group and check us out. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't sign up for the summit anyway. I mean, if I'm giving this kind of value on a podcast, like real talk, what do you think is going to happen with something that has been strategically designed for your entrepreneurial benefit? Just sign up for the summit already. Stop playing, because it's free to attend. It's only $97 in order to be able to get access to all of the recordings up until the 24th of this month. We are at the 3-week mark. So, hello. No brainer. But anywho, I'm going to get my tail out of here. So there you go. To do or not do Facebook groups. That is the question. All right. I love you guys. Bye. Thank you for joining me today. Remember to cultivate a mindset that is biased towards taking action. No bitching, whining, or complaining. Here, our mantra is, real women don't bitch, we get shit done. See you next week as I continue to bring you what you need to keep your head in the game and beast your business. Don't forget to hit subscribe and leave us a 5-star review. Would you like a specific topic covered? Have a question you would like answered live? Then head on over to realwomendon'tbitchpodcast.com. Subscribe to my email list, hit me up, and I got you. Interested in being a guest speaker? You walk the walk? Then you can sign up on the website too. This is your #1 advanced mental conditioning specialist for entrepreneurs, Mrs. Raw, Real, and Relentless, signing out. Deuces!
Inspire, empower, grab your girls and soar a little higher. Unlock the fire in you.